are moving to the Samanaphala Sutta, where we find the perspectives of 6 prominent teachers of the Buddha's time. These teachers were Purana Kashyapa, Makkhali Goshala, Ajit Keshkambali, Pakud Kachayan, Sanjay Velatti Putta, and Niganthanath Putta. As the story goes, there is a dialogue between the Buddha and the Magadha king Ajatasattu. Ajatasattu reports to the Buddha the responses of the 6 teachers to his questions about the benefits of samana life. We will see them one by one. Purana Kashyapa believed that there is no harm in causing pain to others, killing other creatures, stealing, robbery, adultery, telling lies, etc., as there is no sin in these acts. If a man kills a large number of animals or humans and makes a heap of flesh, he will earn no sin. In the same way, if he conducts charity or almsgiving at a large scale on the banks of Ganges or performs lengthy yajna, he will earn no merit. Thus he propounded his Akriya Vada. Human actions do not lead to sin or merits. Makkhali Goshal believed that the suffering of the creatures has no reason. They experience pain without any reason. Similarly, there is no reason or way for liberation from suffering. Even if creatures get liberated from suffering, they get liberated without any cause or conditions. Neither they can make efforts for their own liberation, nor can they help others. Any kind of effort, power or capacity, or any endeavor is futile in getting liberation. All creatures are helpless and slaves of situation as they travel through different lives, different births, embodiment in different forms. In human or other creatures' life, deities or ghosts, on earth, in heaven or hell. There is no good conduct, austerity, or celibacy that purifies or refines human action. The happiness and sorrows of each creature are already fixed and measured. This view is also known as Ahetuka Vada, that is, there is no causal explanation of suffering. Another thinker is Ajit Keshkambali, who believed that charity, religious sacrifices, etc., have no worth. Human actions do not yield any sin or merit. There is no afterlife or existence of deities. There is no such enlightened person who can actually tell about the truth of this world or the other worlds. The human body is constituted of 4 Mahabhutas, and all the Mahabhutas go back to their own sources after death. According to him, the views of all those scholars, Pandits, who proclaim the existence of afterlife and heavenly worlds are quite trivial and merely their propaganda, as nothing remains after death. This view is also known as Uchchedavada. Pakud Kachayan believed that there are 7 entities, namely Prithvi, Apa, Teja, Vayu, Sukha, Dukha, and Jiva, which are uncaused and indestructible. These are static and undergo no change or deformation. They do not influence each other even. In this world, there is none who can be called offender or offended, killer or killed, listener or speaker, knower or preacher. Even if a man kills someone with a very sharp and lethal weapon or blade, he does not kill or cause harm to the other, as the sharpest of blade cannot penetrate any of the bhuta and does only fall in the space between the bhuta. The space may be very narrow or invisible. This view is also known as Akritavada. everything is uncaused and eternal, also known as eternalism. Nigantanath Putta believed that a Nigantha, who is a Jaina monk or ascetic, observes 4 types of self-control, sanyama or samvara. He does not use water as far as possible, so that no creature living in water are harmed. He continuously engages in annihilation of all his sins. Having annihilated all his sins, he becomes absolutely free from the committed sins and does not commit any sin in the future. Thus, a Nigantha is protected by the 4 types of self-control or self-restraints, chaturayama or sanyama. That is why a Nigantha is least interested in worldly affairs, and his mind and conduct are stable. This view is also known as Chaturayama Samvaravada, theory of self-restraint. Sanjay Bellattiputta thought that it cannot be clearly stated if there is a reality of the afterlife and the other world. One can also not clearly deny them. It cannot be clearly said that creatures unborn of body exist or they do not exist, or else they both exist and do not exist at the same time. Similarly, one cannot assert if there happens fruition of good or bad karma. It can also not be ascertained if Tathagata, an enlightened being, lives after his death or not. He presented all his thoughts to Ajatasattu in the form that I neither affirm it nor deny it. Neither I say like this nor I say otherwise. This view is known as Anishchitata Vada, skepticism. With the advent of the Buddha's teachings, the other diverse views more or less disappeared, or as we get numerous references in Pali Canon, many of their followers joined the camp of the Buddha. The main reason for their disappearance or less recognitions of their thoughts is that they were not presented in a systematic, causal and analytical framework. In other words, the Buddha's teachings and the early Buddhism developed after the Buddha provided a more comprehensive system of reasoning and spiritual practices for the seekers of the time. A Brahmin asked the Buddha what view he subscribed, Kriyavada or Akriyavada. The Buddha replied that he subscribes to both in different senses. Akriyavada, as he taught abstention from all evil deeds, mental, verbal or bodily, and Kriyavada, as he recommended good deeds or right actions, mental, verbal or bodily. Such responses show the attitude of the Buddha towards the problems of life, his method of segregationist analysis, and the greater inclusivity. Even greater reason for the decrease in acceptance of the diverse views was the absence of a humanitarian approach towards the problem of life. Unlike the teachings of the Buddha, he adopted a compassionate and sympathetic approach to human suffering. At least, he would never respond to people in the manner of Pakudakachayana on the moral questions of causing harm to others. The detailed analysis of the karma, as in Kamma Vibhanga, Sutta of Majjhima Nikaya, provided ground for good conduct and moral transformation of men. So this module presented various viewpoints related to the world, life and liberation held by different ascetics of the Buddha's time, and some might have survived as minor sects even after his scrutiny and influenced materialism or extreme asceticism. However, except for the references in the Pali Canon, we do not have any document or independent work of them or even enough references in other systems of thought so as to authentically state much about the diverse views unless philosophized or constructed into para-philosophical sects. Hope this module helped you familiarize with the intellectual environment in which the Buddha offered his insights. Thank you for your attention.